In the Voice Files tab, this item will create a new voice file. I have these 6 voice files for my client, and this will let me go to the template where I can upload the 7th voice file and name it and date it, etc. This becomes active when I select some of these items, or one or many, and now I can delete these voice files if I wish. This resets this to a default view. So for example, if I right-click here, it opens up this menu. I can see that description is being sorted by ascending. I can clear the sorting here, for example. I can right-click anywhere in this area, and I can look at my column chooser to see what else I have here. I got file type, so I dragged it out by left-clicking and holding and letting go. And I've got this thing called name. So I'm changing the format or the layout of this page. Maybe I want eval count to be first. Maybe I want, well, this is kind of redundant. Let's say I want to remove one of these. I can right click and hide this column. Let's say I want to have file type at the end. Maybe I want to have recorded first, etc. So there's lots of ways that I can customize this view. This button will reset it back to the default. By clicking it and clicking OK, it goes back to the default view. This button compares WAV files. So for example, let's say I want to view my client's health voice files. I've selected 3 of them. I could select all of them if I wanted to. But just to show you this, by clicking this button, it pops open another window showing me all 3 voice files overlaid on the same window. This is useful if I want to look for patterns and characteristics. And I do notice that there is a lot of similarity in the pattern. I can see that this blue, Health 1, is not following these other 2 as well. For example, I'm looking at this. I've got a spike on this particular voice file, which is Health 1. And then I see another spike down here on Health 2. And so I might want to select something that I think is interesting, or collect points that are more similar or dissimilar, whatever I wish. By left-clicking, when I have that circle around that particular point, it adds it to a little list down here. And so I can find other things that are interesting. For example, maybe I want to pick that point, and it just continues to make a list for me. Perhaps I want to zoom in. There are 2 ways to do that: by being in this field and rolling my mouse wheel toward my monitor forces the zoom in function. And once I'm in here, if I left click and hold, I can drag the WAV files as I'm going along. Another way to zoom is to use this row here. When my cursor turns from an arrow into a hand with a finger sticking up, if I left click and hold, it is now surfing through the WAV files with that particular level of zoom. I can decrease the zoom level by left clicking and holding either one of these flags, and it pulls out that way. And then I can surf from this perspective if I wish, or I can zoom in super close by using these flags. It gets really intense. And now I'm looking at really close information regarding these points. This menu allows me to export or print what I'm seeing here. For example, if I click this, I can make an image on these 2. I can create a PDF. And if you are familiar with SVG or GIFs, yes, those are options as well. Another thing I can do is I have 3 voice files here. I can turn off any one of them. So let's say I selected all 6 of these. I could have the ability to say, well, let me just look at these 2 or these 3, or turn off the mundanes and turn on the mundanes and turn off the healths, whatever I want to do. So this is another option that allows me to get rid of some of the clutter of so many voice files being rendered all at once. Lots of power, lots of information available with WAV file comparison. Let's say I have just one voice file selected. This is the Nano Voice chart, meaning it will show me what Nano Voice reads when it reads this voice file. This is a work in progress and will continue to be developed and should be released shortly. But it does give us some general information about the octaves that these colored bars are showing and the level of information found in those octaves. This is a global select or a global deselect function, and that completes everything for the Voice Files tab.